Welcome ladies and gentlemen, this is Stardust here, and today I'm going to be talking about more community feedback in Marvel's Avengers. Let's get into this. So let's get straight into the first piece here as we discuss three standouts from my comments section on the last video. The first comes from Darius Smiley, who says, "Here is what I want. Bosses that scale to higher and harder difficulty. Exotics should have a chance of having 4 stats or 4 perks that chance a mechanic to each charger, or that could be the weapon. For example, Black Widow would have a high caliber for a sniper rifle. I'd like Hives to have their own bosses too. Also with the Red Room event, we finally have different layouts with the harm room. Add that to the custom harm room when this is even over. That way it's not a wasted asset." I appreciate Darius wanting more challenging bosses. I think we can all agree that's something the game is desperately needing at the moment. The exotic suggestion is something I think we all agree with too, with exotics not quite feeling up to the standard of other games. Having 4 stats and or 4 perks would definitely assist that quite a lot. I'm not sure if having certain perks or gear pieces be weapon changes would be practical, but it's still a cool thing to consider. Hives having their own boss floors would be super fun, and of course, when this game is lacking in its content, I do believe having anything be used sparingly isn't a good idea either, so adding the Red Room layouts to custom harm rooms would have been a good option too, so thank you Darius. The second suggestion comes from RP, who says we need to be able to at least play all missions that reward exotic gear with every character once, but it would be better to just allow us to replay them over to obtain the desired gear, or better yet, re-roll gear. Being able to increase power levels beyond 150 and upgrades that allow players to select multiple perks in Mastery would be a cool feature to grind/work towards. How about a new game plus that allows you to play through as any hero currently on the roster? The main problem with the game is despite the new champion system, every action feels somewhat empty. While you do get XP now and sometimes upgraded gear, it still feels hollow due to the XP points providing little to no noticeable upgrades to your character. Every category in the champion system should provide at least a 50% increase, if not more. I understand that the game could get boring with seriously overpowered characters, but that would be what higher difficulty or torment levels would be for. RP, similar to Darius, is discussing exotics, but this time being earnable for each of your heroes. Now I believe what RP means is, for example, the weekly Mega Hive is a one and done mission for the week, where if you finish it as Hawkeye, you can't go and rerun it as Hulk to receive another 2 exotics, which would at least give you more grinding incentive. The idea of a new game plus seems to be a good thing. I wouldn't particularly call that a priority, but for example playing the Chimera mission where Thor debuts as one of the Hawkeyes, Black Panther or Spider-Man would indeed be awesome, especially for photo mode. The champion system is something that needs a massive boost, at least in most of its categories, and as RP says here, you can make them stronger but then in turn make the game harder, so it scales fairly. Our third and final piece of feedback before we finish the video today is from Reina, who says A. The ability to listen to audio files during gameplay, in brackets, nobody likes to listen and stare at the screen while doing nothing. B. New heroics/skill moves like 1. Shrink and shapeshift attacks for Kamala. 2. Black Widow using knives, assault rifles and snipers like the comics. 3. New arrow types for Kate and Hawkeye. 4. Hulk lifting cars and catching enemies in the air. 5. Thor charging the hammer with lightning for a focused ranged attack, like the one he used on the Chitauri in the Avengers movie. 6. Cap using stun grenades to blind enemies. 7. Nano attacks for Iron Man. Now here's the C point. Weekly shield and inhuman assignments like 1. Defeat 40 exos, earn 100 faction XP and 10 polychorons. 2. Rescue 15 prisoners, earn 100 faction XP and 10 polychorons. 3. Defeat Taskmaster, Abomination and Maestro, earn 500 faction XP and 15 polychorons. D. Update the challenge card so that we can continue to spend the points on something useful like 1. 50 points for a nameplate of our choosing. 2. 75 points for an XP booster. 3. 100 points for a rare skin or emote of our choosing. 4, 150 points for an epic skin or emote of our choosing. Or 5, 200 points for a legendary skin or emote of our choosing. A lot to dive into here, so rather than me give my thoughts about every single one of Reina's points, I'll take it over to you all in the comments down below. What do you think about these suggestions and the others I mentioned in the video earlier? Be sure to let me know in the comments. Thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe for more of these types of videos. I started a little bit there. I want to speak about that actually before this video ends. So I like to use a script for my content, and sometimes I'll bundle over the words a little bit just because I have anxiety, to be perfectly honest. So doing these videos is quite freaky in a way, but I want to obviously give these points off as clear and precise as possible, so that's why I do it in this format. But as you can see right here, I'm not having as much problems because I'm not having to read anything, if you know what I mean. So hopefully that is understandable as well. And before this video ends as well, down in the description down below I have a Streamlabs tab. Now of course it's not mandatory at all, but I use a college laptop to record these videos, and eventually I'm going to have to give this back. So if you can support me and go and donate any spare change you've got, that will allow me to purchase a laptop to continue making this content. Anyway guys, thank you all so much for the support, and peace.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face, tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.